Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Noah and welcome to Noah's Life. So first of all, I wanted to thank all the new subscribers that have come onto my channel, and if you're not subscribed yet, what are you doing? Go ahead and subscribe down below and click the notification button to see when I upload next. First of all, a little thing that I just wanted to mention was last week, or like not last week, sorry, my last video. I had very bad camera issue. I had camera issues, and now I kind of figured it out, so that's why I have better quality now. But yeah, so that's that. What else? I have done this intro so many times that I even forgot what I wanted to say in my intro. Get something to drink, something cozy. This is my iced coffee. I have Starbucks Veranda in it with some ice and some caramel creamer. And yeah, so for anybody who is new here, the crib behind me is not because I have a baby right now. I am pregnant and we're gonna have our baby boy very soon, and I'm really so excited. If you want to see that pregnancy journey, I have, sorry, my nose is like super dry. If you want to see anything about pregnancy, so I have like pregnancy related videos that you can go and check out. There's so many different types of videos that you can go and check out, but go ahead to my channel and see that. If you want to see any kind of like what is going on with me day to day, is pretty much my Instagram, where I'm on it the most. Oh my god, I bit my tongue. Or it's at the end of this video, or it's down in the description box is my social medias. That means it's my Instagram, where I'm on daily, or my TikTok that I'm just on a lot. I'm not on a daily, but I try to update there too. So go ahead and check out my social medias. So let's start with this video. And it is pretty much on how I prep for my exams, how I study, and so on. So I did a similar video to this last year for when I had my exams and all of that fun stuff. So for people who don't know what I'm doing, is I am prepping / I'm taking classes right now for that I can get ready for nursing school. And as soon as the little one is old enough, I'm gonna start nursing school. And yeah, this is kind of how I'm gonna do my exams, because I have next week, I think, I have like 3 exams, so that's fun. I study anatomy right now, and I study social studies, and social studies is history and economy, and all of that stuff. Science, math, and language and arts, and language and arts is kind of like English and grammar. It's like grammar on text, essays, all of that fun stuff. If I'm looking down, I took notes on what I was trying to say, because I am very forgetful. That happens when you're very pregnant and when you have seizures and take seizure medicine. So I'm gonna divide it into different pieces on stuff that you need to know, stuff that you need to do or study for oh my god, I'm like mumbling. Stuff to do for studying for an exam, and then I also have ways to study that just really help me. So let's start with the first one, and that is the need to know. You need to know your exam dates, and you need to know what classes you're taking. So for example, you can know your exam dates with getting a syllabus from your school, or having a syllabus, or making a syllabus, or syllabi. And what classes you're taking, usually you know that when you go to school. So number 2 is stuff to do to study for an exam. If you hear any loud noises like this, that's my ice maker. Thanks, babe. So stuff that you need to do for an exam is, you first of all attend your lectures and attend your classes. If you don't attend your classes or lectures or anything, I really doubt you're gonna pass an exam. So that's first of all. Like I take, for example, I have lectures in anatomy, but I take my classes in all the other subjects that I have mentioned before. Then it's really important to schedule, and the best thing is to schedule them in your agenda. I have two ways of doing it. I have either an agenda like this, where let me quick open this. So it's really important, for example, like this. So here I have everything that is green are my classes, are my anatomy classes. Everything that is like a light pinkish are my other classes. Everything that is like really like pinkish are my quizzes. So you can see I have 1, 2, and 3 quizzes, and these are just appointments that I need to have. So I either put it in like this, and I put in what classes I need to take and when, or I have this lovely weekly schedule that is pretty much the same thing. The difference is that this I also put in my doctor's appointments and all of that, or just appointments in general. And this I usually take to places, while this is paper and literally just on a cardboard, and it will not really hold. And for me, it's just easier to do it with like color coordinated. Then the next thing to have is have a clean work environment. If that is just your desk where you're working at, usually if it is messy with me, I just clean it up and then I start working, and also around my apartment. So I make sure that my bed is done, I make sure that my kitchen is clean, and that I don't have distractions, or I don't get that anxiety of, oh my god, I need to clean something. The next thing is have something to drink and a snack on hand at your desk. So for example, I have my iced coffee. I always need to drink a little bit because I'm very thirsty. But I have for example, right now I have just my iced coffee because I just ate something before. But otherwise, it's good to just have a snack so you don't need to get up like 24/7 and you're like getting up and getting distracted because you want to go and get something. So that is super, super important. And then one thing, and the other thing is the next point is take one subject at a time. So for example, I'm just looking at my bookcase. For example, I have in my bookcase, I have all my subjects, all my studies, notebooks, all my, like, how do you call them? All my workbooks. So I usually just, for example, if I'm studying math, I'm taking it here, putting it back, and then I take the next subject to study. And then we already come to number 3, and number 3 is ways to study. I study with different kind of things. So first of all, I really like flashcards. Flashcards, you can usually get the box with the flash. You get the box separate with the flashcards, or you can also get them sometimes together. So for example, here I write the question. First of all, up here I write the title so I know what subject it is. So this is anatomy, and it's for body planes, sorry. And it says, what does the word transverse mean? And then on the back, you have the answer, and it says it's a horizontal plane, divides body into superior and inferior positions, and also referred as cross sections. And I just put it in like this, and flashcards are just really good. Usually after taking a lecture and taking notes and all of that, I just make my flashcards, so it's just so much easier and I can just study from there. Then I take 2 different types of notes. I take notes. Oh my god, this is really scary having my iced coffee next to my laptop. So, don't mind that it's written microeconomics. It's not a microeconomics, it's just something that I use for microeconomics. So, what I do is I take this notebook, and like you see, it is very fast written. The notes are not nice, and so these are the fast notes that I take during my lectures, and it's just like very fast. I mean, you can always go back to the lecture if you're online, but these are the fast notes that I do. And then I have this lovely notebook that is not ruined. And then what I usually do is, let me just go to the subject that I had, is this is not the subject that I had, then I take nice notes. So I take nice notes, I color code what I need to color code. For example, this is what you guys were looking at. So it is so much nicer, and it's readable. I can actually read what I was writing and can go back and study on that. Then something that you really need to do, sorry for this notification, something that you really, really need to do is make sure you have enough time to, except of going to your lectures, you should also have time to study and time to revise before your exam. And that's exactly what I do here with my weekly planner, is I plan on how much time it takes me. For example, with math, it takes me longer to revise something than it would with social studies or whatever. So I just make sure I have time to study and revise. Then something that is really, really, what really helps me, for example, in anatomy, is to teach someone. Now, for example, my husband, he knows basic anatomy. He's not going to go too intense. I mean, I don't know if he went, how intense he went for anatomy, but he knows anatomy. And it is really, really like fun for me too, and really important for me is he knows anatomy. So what I do is I take my notebook and I kind of give him the lecture, or kind of like tell him, hey, this means that, and this is this, and and the femur is there, and this is the head, these are like phalanges, and like all of that fun stuff. So it's like I teach him on what I learned, and he can either, or even sometimes what I do is I take subjects and I teach it to him, but he has my notes so he can see if I took it from the class, or like what I know from it. Then the next question is having practice questions and practice tests. So for all my other subjects than anatomy, I have a paper that explains, I have one side of the workbook, that explains to me what I'm studying, and gives me like the facts, and gives me like all of that fun stuff. And then on the other side, I have practice questions that sees if I even understood what I was studying before. And that is really important. Then after like a chapter, I have a practice test to see if I understood what I'm studying. And then from there on out, can get ready for my actual test or exam. Then something that I forgot to mention with teaching somebody, what I love to do, oh my god, let me back up, is to teach somebody with a whiteboard. So I love these whiteboards. I got this one I think from like Target or Walmart. It was not super cheap, but like, I mean, it was cheap. It was cheap, and I teach somebody. If I need to teach somebody, or if I teach my husband, I use also the whiteboard. The whiteboard is good for so many stuff. If it's vocabulary, if it's whatever subject it might be. Another thing that I do and that's that I just do is my lectures are online. That means I can always go back to my lecture and listen to what my professors were saying. Now, if I don't understand something, I usually go back and listen. I have my husband to ask. You can ask, go ahead and ask your professors. You can ask somebody that knows something about that subject, and so on. What the next point is, I really like to take colorful notes. So like you have seen in my notebook, I highlight everything that is important. I highlight stuff, I write stuff in different colors, and yeah. Another thing that might help when you're studying, and for example, like right now where I'm sitting, that's usually where I study. If I cannot study for whatever reason and I cannot study here, I go out and I study, or I just change locations. So I cannot study here, I decide to go to my bed and I study over there, or to my couch and study over there, or I just go out and go to a coffee shop or whatever. Something that I really like to do, and that's my next topic, kind of subject, is I like to change clothes. So even if you're going back to comfy clothes, get out of your pajamas. So for example, I had my PJs on, but like right now, I have sweatpants on, and I have a thing. Oh yeah, here's FYI, like a little belly update. I'm like super big. Very soon due, so less than 2 months. Yay! So, oh my god, my chair went down. Okay, so what I like to do is get out of my PJs and get into new clothes. For example, today I was not feeling well, took a shower, feeling so much better. Next thing is your phones and stuff like that, to put them on airplane mode. If you don't have the self-control, if you have the self-control, just put your phone aside. That will help. Then also what I do is I love to listen to music, either soft music with no lyrics, whatever you want to do. You can study. Sorry, I have like acid reflux from breakfast. You can do it. You can also study in study groups, and that's what I really like. If you have a study group, or find somebody that knows the subject. Then the next point is, so for example, I showed this already in my last video, and this is an iPad. This is a Samsung one that my husband got from school. Before he graduated, he got it, and that's how I study. Is I just take notes there sometimes, or use other electronics or whatever way you want to study. Or if you really have problems, you can always go and tutor. So I think these are all my 3 main points of that I wanted to touch. It was the stuff that you need to know, stuff to do for studying, and different ways that I love to study. So yeah, that's pretty much it with this video. Thank you guys for your compassion, for listening to me for so long. Love you guys, and don't forget to subscribe down below and click the notification button, and also follow my social medias that I'm gonna put down in the description box and at the end of this video. And yeah, so cheers, and I wish you guys all an amazing day. Bye guys.